Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, topics, reactions, lists, rankings, anything in between, pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And yeah, this is for Stream 5. The film that if you complain about, you can't do that, otherwise you just represent one of those toxic fandom at the end of the movie. And you are what the movie speaks. So thus, any criticism can be denounced. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that ain't how the world, the real world works. Whether the real world on MTV or the real world, that's the actual real world. Guess what? That's not how it works. Welcome to reality. Outside the bubble, outside of Twitter and Facebook. Welcome to reality. It was like that before the internet. It'll be like that after the internet. It'll be like that well before we're all dead and buried. After we're dead and buried. During us being dead and buried. We're all fucking buried in this filth of fucking garbage called Hollywood. And I'm sick and fucking tired of these type of movies. I'm sick and tired of laziness. I'm sick and tired of no creativity. And you know what? I can enjoy films that have similar plot lines if they're at least fucking entertaining, but this wasn't that. It was predictable, it was lame, it was generic. The kills, I mean, yeah, okay, if you want to see a couple people get stabbed 18 times and yet half of them live, so just based on luck, do you have the 50 Cent luck or not? You know, 50 Cent gets shot a dozen times, he lives. Someone gets shot once, they die. So it depends how lucky you deal. You 50 Cent luck? Or 75 cent luck. Who's 75 cents? Exactly. Does he disappear in the fucking thin air? So he wasn't so lucky. Only 50 Cent was lucky. Stream 5. People, oh, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I don't get why you would not like it. My question is, why? What is there to like? I did that trailer reaction, which was a paid request, and all that I said in that trailer reaction was right. I predicted it from the trailer. Spoilers starting now. Spoilers starting now, just the way it is. I predicted Dewey would die, he died. I predicted when he died, and he died. It was a waste of the original characters, because in this hour and 40-some minute movie, Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox didn't arrive until like the hour mark. Even then, there were more props than characters. Sydney and Gale Weathers were props. They weren't even characters in this movie. Dewey had 3 scenes, and yeah, technically he saved someone, but at the same time, they threw that character in the dumpster. Oh, Dewey, he lost his job as a sheriff, he's a loser, he's in a fucking trailer, and he got divorced from Gale, and then he has 3 scenes. The first time we see him, listening to people talk about requels, and then when he dies. Now, granted, he did save someone, but then he does something stupid, and he dies of his stupidity. Of course. It's ironic that when you think of the first stream, of all the people that survived, all the guys are dead. Because they killed Randy in Stream 2, now they killed Dewey in Stream 5. And they always say, we're doing this because we want to shock people and anyone can die. But you notice anytime they do that, then nobody else dies of the main focus. A lot of times they do that in movies. Oh my god, this person died, now anybody could die. But then they don't follow through on that. It's like, nope, that person's dead, so you automatically know the other 2 will live. And that's right. Because they gotta save them for Stream 6. Which I'm sure are being pre-produced right now. I'm sorry, this movie's the epitome of generic. I didn't give a crap about the new characters. Most of them were beyond one-dimensional. There's the people who are related to Jamie Kennedy's character, and the girl's like a wannabe Randy, and then the guy was like a jock, and there's like nothing to him, and then he had a girlfriend, and the only thing they had is, maybe you're the killer, maybe you're the killer. That's the only thing those characters had. Nothing else. You have the girl at the beginning, who, they do the same thing, phone call, goes alone, but only this time she survives, even though again she got stabbed fucking 7 times. It's very weird on this. People could get stabbed twice and they're dead, like Dewey. But then other people could get stabbed, pop, 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 pop. Like the jock, I swear got stabbed like literally 5 times and he was alive. The girl at the beginning got stabbed like pop, 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 pop. Apparently people are just pincushions in this. Fucking hell. I know that was the running joke of Dewey, which Stream 1, maybe I forgive it. But I'm not big on Stream 2. Yes, I'm one of the few that actually like Stream 3. I know. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. I'm fine they went more of the humor route, because to me, after Stream 1, you cannot be scary again. Because I never thought Ghostface himself was scary. The reason I enjoy the first Stream film is because I think it's witty, clever, entertaining, with a good cast, and interesting characters, or at least likable personalities at the very least. A combination of Wes Craven's direction, the music, the songs, the being fresh in that era of horror, where, wow, this is something new. Now it's not new anymore. It's a fucking part 5. And when they have the conversation of requels, it's almost the same conversation. You might as well be the conversation of remakes in Stream 4. And the people that trashed me when I did that video on the trailer to this, going, this is going to be the most intense, scariest one, and nothing like this is like Stream 4. Are you fucking kidding me? I know I'm going over the place, but just how I am. Bear with me. So, it's predictable. I predicted that there were, it is spoilers, I knew there would be 2 killers. Because I knew it would be tackling requels. They even talk about requels. Oh, so it's a sequel, but it's also the same thing, like a remake. And during the conversation, they mentioned Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters. What was the other fucking thing they mentioned? Terminator. I guess with Dark Fate. Oh, so you reference all shit. And good job, boy. You were as shit as them. You were as shit as Ghostbusters Afterlife. You were as shit as Disney Star Wars. You're as shit as Jurassic World. You're as shit as Ghostbusters. You know, I mentioned that twice. Terminator Dark Fate. Wow. You're part of the group of shit. But you're like, hey, but we admit it. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. In the year of 2022, the best we can do is deja fucking vu. That should be the mantra of 2022. Please, feel free to put that in the comment. In 2022, the best we can do is deja fucking vu. Before I go in depth, again, the list why I didn't care for the film. Like I say, it was predictable. I guessed who the first killer would be. No, I said it, I knew there'd be 2 killers, just don't reference the first film a lot. Just like Halloween 2018 referenced the first Halloween. Well, to me, it was Halloween's greatest hits. That's the best way I would put it. Halloween's greatest hits. Jurassic World would reference the first Jurassic Park to the point you had 2 fucking kids and a fucking vehicle, and the fucking top came down while a dinosaur tries to eat them. Just like Terminator Dark Fate was a shitty version of Terminator 2. Just like... So, okay, and reference that requel, there'd be 2 killers. Well, there usually is 2 killers anyway. There were 2 killers in Stream 1, Stream 2, Stream 4, and now this one. The only one that didn't have it is the one of the few I like, Stream 3. Because Stream 3 actually tried to be different. That's one of the reasons I liked about Stream 3. It tried to be different. It tried to be more funny. It tried to be a bit more into Hollywood. Dewey had more to do. Dewey actually got to do shit. David Arquette got to do shit. Oh, what about the twist with it was Sidney's brother? I buy that more than the fucking one thing they have in this. Because at least in the first stream, they referenced that Sydney's mother was a slut that would show her shit around town like she was Sharon Stone. And she was no Sharon Stone. I would buy that. I buy that more than Billy, Steve Ulrich, had a daughter and grown up, and now she literally sees visions of Steve Ulrich. Granted, it's where she sees visions of the Steve Ulrich from the end of stream, bloody shit and all. Maybe she saw, not the first stab, she actually saw the first stream, and that's how she remembers. And why did she have visions? I guess because she found out her dad was a killer, that automatically gives you visions. Like, she takes pills, but what other trauma did she go through? We don't know. I guess if you find out your dad's a killer, or was a killer back in the day, you just start having visions. And you also know what he looked like at the end of the first stream. He didn't bloody shit and all. Which, by the way, that led to nowhere. I guess maybe it's an inkling for the future of stream films. Like, I give a fuck. Also, I'm thinking Visions. What is this? Jason Takes Manhattan? It's another shitty sequel that had fucking visions. Remember when the lead girl kept having visions of Jason? All because she had one experience in a lake? And this lead girl was almost as good of an actress as that fucking girl in Jason Takes Manhattan. Because this lead girl, Sam, was as great as... You see this fucking thing? There's the lead actress. Her face is this fucking blankness the whole entire fucking time. And when you stand next to Neve Campbell, who's actually a good actress, she's one of the reasons that made those older stream films work. She was talented, she showed emotion, heart. I mean, I thought Stream 4 was bad. This is way worse. This lead girl was a fucking slate. A blank slate. If I put that lead girl and this fucking thing next to each other, I wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. I wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. Hell, the girl at the beginning was a better actress. The girl at the beginning that, again, survived, because the story is that, oh, okay, here's the difference. You have the same opening, phone call, and do you like scary movies? Instead of talking about Friday the 13th Halloween, they're asking about Stab. It's a trick question at the end. Instead of Jason, no, the killer was the mom. Here, who's the killer, Billy? No, it was Billy and Stu. And instead of getting killed, she survives. Even though, again, how the hell did she survive? She got lucky, I guess. And it was part of the killer's plan to bring this girl back into town, who has a boyfriend who has not seen scary movies. I'm sitting there going, bullshit. There's something up with this fucking guy. Even Dewey. One of the few times you see Dewey, even he goes, the rules of a scary movie, be careful of the love interest. And because it's a requel, I think it's a sequel, but it's a remake, I knew the one killer was Amber because she just had killer tattooed on her face. With the way she looked at her stank face, and she was just a bitch. I'm like, if she ain't a killer, then she's a fucking, I don't know. She don't kill someone if you, I don't know, stand her up at the fucking checkout counter, if you cut in front of her in line at the bank, or if you ask to borrow money for the meter. She'll try to kill you then, probably. So if she wasn't a killer here, she'd be a killer somewhere else. She just... The way that character looked and acted was bitchy and unlikable. I'm like, I hope she's the killer, because I want to see her go. So that was predictable. If I was wrong, I'd be like, okay, I was wrong, but I still have an unlikable fucking character. And then, the second killer is the boyfriend of the actual lead. Again, huge shock. People talk about the kills. What do people talk about the kills? Have they not seen slasher films? Is that what it is? Have they not seen slasher films? We've all seen people get stabbed. The body count? Because the beginning girl didn't die. One guy died getting stabbed. Got a little bit in the neck. Then, oh, remember the girl that was the deputy in Scream 4? She's now the sheriff here. Her and her son die. And the son gets stabbed in the neck. The girl, the sheriff, gets stabbed in the stomach. Dewey dies. Gets stabbed in the front and the back. Like, 2 people get stabbed and they don't die in the finale. One, I think, gets shot in the head, and then the death of the killers. I've seen them going, what are people talking about gore? I've seen this gore in the Scream films. I mean, even the first Scream, you had a little bit of variety, like when she tried to go into the garage door and got her head fucked up. What was that, the garage? Well, the doggy door and the garage thing, and it was a stupid idea, but it was like, okay, that was a creative death. You don't even have that in this. Like, there's no creative deaths. And I'm sorry, I've said it before, Ghostface is not scary. I could handle it in the Scream films because I was liking the other attributes. But you look at Ghostface, the mask is not a Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees type of... It's iconic, but to me, I never saw that mask and went, that's creepy. I never saw that mask and went, that's scary. It's a bit goofy of a mask. And, you know, a killer that flips and flops and stumbles and falls and, just beaten up. Is that scary? Again, I handle it in the other Scream films because I'm like, okay, it's different. It's, you know, different from other slasher villains. It makes it its own thing, not just a carbon copy. And it makes, you know, these are people that are not established. They're not superhuman. So I get it. I understand it, and I'm entertained. That's what I mean. Scream films I go into not to be scared. I'm never scared by them. It's to be entertained. And no, I didn't find this entertaining. I find this desperate measures. Desperately strengthening, trying to strengthen a franchise that's been dead in the fucking water for years. But because now what's nostalgia is new again, and anything nostalgic, hey, we've been locked indoors forever because of pandemic. Oh, I remember this from the good times. Yay! I'm like, what the fuck? I got all these fucking movies to be nostalgic for. I got all these fucking movies here. You know, I got all these fucking movies that I could fucking watch if I want fucking nostalgia. Can't even do it right. Dude, you know, I got all these fucking movies. You know, I got all these fucking films that want fucking nostalgia. Goddamn. If you liked it, cool, to each your own. I don't get it. I don't need to get it. It's not my job to get it. People go, oh, it's ballsy. What's ballsy about? You want to talk about ballsy? If you want to do ballsy, granted, I wouldn't want this. This is not what I would want. I'm saying if you want to talk about ballsy, fine, kill Sidney at the beginning of the film. You killed the beginning of the film, and the story's about Dewey. And you give an arc of the character where he actually becomes a competent officer and actually is going, you know, that'd be a different point of view. Dewey's point of view. Looked at as goofy and doofy and doofus and all that and coming to his own. Or instead of Sidney, Dale. Dale dies. There you go. Instead of Sidney, Dale dies, and then Dewey and Sidney have to work together and have Dewey get his moment to shine. Or better yet, what I would do is don't do the fucking movie. Just don't do the fucking film. Create a new goddamn movie. Create a new fucking franchise. Doesn't automatically mean it'll be good. But again, even me just saying this, it will be people labeling you as, well, you're just one of those toxic fans. Let me tell you something. There ain't no goddamn such thing as toxic fandom. Toxic fandom's a fucking myth. And I will say that, I know it's a controversial opinion, there's no such thing as a toxic fandom. There's just assholes. And guess what? There were assholes before the internet. There will be assholes after the internet. Don't believe me? Go to school. Believe me, when I went to school, it's middle school, high school, there were good people and there were assholes. I guarantee you every fucking person that watches this has been through it. Had nothing to do with the internet. You go to work, there are assholes and there's good people. You go to anywhere, you go to the supermarket, there'll be a nice mom, but then you have a bitchy mom shitting on his kid, ready to beat the fuck out of him, power drive him into the floor because the kid wants another scoop of, he wants another cup of that vanilla ice cream. Or he wants that piece of cereal. Or he wants that video game. And the mom's like, the razor's edge, right, boom. Chico, toothpick into the kid's eye. Guess what? There's assholes everywhere. And with internet, people's like, you know what? I'm going to be an asshole. Blah, blah, blah. Because and believe me, it's not toxic fandom. It's society, human race, a good portion, or there's assholes. Or there's a part of your psyche and there's a part of your DNA that has asshole-ish factor. The asshole-ish gene. That's why I've said the human race itself is a hypocritic. It's a hypocrite. It's a hypocritic nature. We want desperately to be alone, but we want desperately to be with someone. We want this, but then we want that. And they cancel each other out because it's a weird sense of hypocrisy. Let's think of something random. Let's think of a bug and a bug in your home. Two bugs, but one's a very cute caterpillar and one's an ugly like spider cockroach. The caterpillar you'll take and go on your way. The cockroach spider, fuck you, da 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 da. Why? They're not hurting you, but because you judge it on looks and you judge it on, oh, that looks cute. Oh, that looks ugly. But then you're the same person that go, well, I don't care about looks. Yes, you do. I care about the animal because it looks cute. Oh, fuck the animal. I know it's a weird tangent. Like the fuck you talking about? Exactly. What am I talking about? My point is that the human race is are hypocrites. There's people who realize it and there's people who don't. And that's fine. It's just part of human nature. Yes, to me it is part of human nature. It is. It's how much and how little you're a hypocrite, and whether you admit it and you don't. There's different stages of it, but everyone has a nature of it. Everybody. And the reason I have to bring that up is this whole fucking toxic fandom dialogue that they're bringing into this fucking movie. You know what? The first movie did that well. Movies don't create cycles. Movies make cycles more creative. Boom. That's all you had to do. First movie already did it. There you go. And then it's hard to talk about anything else because, again, the new characters. You have the girl at the beginning. Most of the movie, she's just in a hospital bed. Not much to her character. You have the lead, who has a very blank face. Lack of, I don't know if I want to say emotion, but just lack of charisma, lack of presence. Don't give a shit about Sydney 2.0. Wannabe Sydney 2.0, I should say. Again, when she's talking to the actual Sydney, Neve Campbell, it's night and day in terms of acting. Like, oh, Neve Campbell's actually an actress, unlike this lady. Her boyfriend, I would say if anybody tried to at least have a couple witty lines, I would say her boyfriend, that guy, of the new characters, I think that was the best attempt. And the other people, what, the son of the sheriff? His hair was more of a presence than his character or personality. Dewey, he's barely there. By the time you sneeze, he's gone. Neve Campbell, she appears like an hour into the movie. Except there's one brief scene, she's on the phone with Dewey, and then over an hour in, she comes in with Gale, Courtney Cox. And even then, they barely do anything. They barely say anything. They barely have any dialogue. Like I said, they're more props than characters. And the kills are not creative. The dialogue, when they're doing the whole stuff about rituals. And they mentioned about how Stab ate was called Stab. It was directed by Rian Johnson, and the hardcore fans didn't like it, and they said the main character was a Mary Sue, and so now these people are going to write their own version of Stab 8. And people say, oh, it's making fun of the idea of these requels. No, it's not. I don't understand how people are saying it's making fun of the idea of requels. It's being a requel. It's like we think we're going to make fun of it, but you're just being what you're supposedly making fun of. And it didn't really make fun of that. I don't see that. I don't know what people are getting at. And the fact that, you reference Rian Johnson, and then you reference that, oh, the movie had a Mary Sue as the main character. I'm like, okay, so you're talking about Star Wars. And I'm sorry, there were no toxic fandom in Star Wars. Not the Last Jedi. And there are people that are assholes, but that's the thing, like toxic fandom, like, for anyone out there in Hollywood, anyone out there listen to my voice, come here. Let's have a little chat, since the movie has to bring this up. As a man once said, the world ain't no sunshine and rainbows. You can put a protective bubble over you as much as you want, it's going to burst sooner or later. And you have to overcome it, or otherwise that's sadly on you at the end of the day. Because if you think you get in trouble by bad words on the internet, you know what you do? You turn it off. You shut off your computer, you get a drink, you watch TV, you do your job in the real world. I'm not saying it to be easy, but it's not impossible as some people make it out to be. And you know what? Maybe sometimes, sadly, we go through that so we could get stronger. Or you just go fuck and say, you know what? You think that person's an asshole? You block them. Or you tell them to go fuck themselves. Or you know what? Kiss my ass? Well, kiss your ass. And kiss his ass. And suck my dick. And suck his gold-plated dick. And you get either stronger or you get a fucking attitude. I wouldn't say I'm stronger. I just have the fucking attitude. Fuck it. Just block the person. Do all that. Like toxic fandom of Ghostbusters, toxic fandom of Star Wars. No, Hollywood. Maybe Hollywood is toxic. How about that? How about them apples? Oh, the most it makes fun of is someone going, oh, well, Hollywood is what the killers are saying. The killers, oh, Hollywood is out of ideas. But they're from the killer's point of view, so them saying is kind of, any meaning you could have is diluted because it's people still being murderers. And I hate the fact I have to even come up with this stupid combination of conversation in a fucking stream film. And the reason I'm harping on it is there's not much else to talk about. I mean, to go back in the film, phone call at the beginning, girl alone, the voice, it takes her forever to realize, hey, this voice sounds creepy. I'm like, by the 30 seconds, I'm like, this is a creepy voice. You hang the fuck up and you do something else. No, she keeps on it. What's your favorite scary movie? She says The Babadook. Then she tells about The Witch. She tells about Hereditary. Because they're better elevated horror. Not that schmaltzy, schlocky stuff. She didn't say schmaltzy, but that schlocky stuff from the past. Especially the 90s. I'm like, okay, Hereditary and The Witch, elevated? If elevated means elevate my balls into those movies' mouths, okay. Because The Witch and Hereditary can kiss my fucking fat ass. So, elevated horror, bullshit. Hereditary, where the goddamn movie ends with someone wearing the fucking Burger King crown, I laughed in the fucking movie's face. The Witch, or as the title is, the Vivitch, if you want boredom, I'm like, you know what? I'll just go watch The Changeling of George C. Scott or The Shining by Stanley Kubrick or other films that, in my opinion, did that kind of slow pace, slow burn better. But again, different strokes for different folks. So again, hard for me to relate to anybody when I'm like, okay, we definitely have different tastes in horror movies and elevated horror and millennial stuff. I just, again, just different time, different taste. Hard to relate to anybody. So like the first one, you get another trivia game. You get another attack at the beginning. As I said, in 2022, the best we can do is deja vu. I hate this train of requels. My idea is don't make any. Don't make sequel, remake. I want new shit. People forget that in the 80s, imagine in the 80s, right? We just had sequels to Dracula and Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, and Creature from Black Lagoon. We just had sequels to those 30s, 40s, 50s movies. Imagine if the 80s was just littered with that. Then you wouldn't have Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Evil Dead and Reanimator or even Killer Clowns from Outer Space or the... Well, at least they did something clever with the Monster Squad. That goes with any genre. Action. You wouldn't have Lethal Weapon and RoboCop and Die Hard. Instead, just be sequel, Dirty Dozen Part 7 and Dirty Harry. I mean, well, the worst Dirty Harry sequels, but I mean, even more so. But hey, what do I know? So after that, like I said, our actual lead girl, Sam, the girl that keeps seeing her dead dad, Billy, which is Steed Ulrich. It's visions of him, which is, people who give this a pass, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear any more complaints than about Scream 3 and the killer in that movie. Because again, at least in the first movie, there's an actual reference. There's a, maybe thin, maybe anorexic, but there's a thin line. There's a line. Here it's, what? He had a daughter that no one knew about until 25 years later. And she's having visions for some fucking reason. And really didn't lead to anywhere until maybe potential Scream 6, which should be, I don't know, crazy. I don't fucking know. Just seemed weird. It seemed right. Which is funny, because I was like, I guess the one original thing they did, it was like, and it was the dumbest thing. Why was it dumb, Matt? Because it doesn't really properly explain why she's having these visions. I just, because again, if you find out your dad did it, you have visions. Not only do you have visions, but you have visions of how he looked in the end of the first Scream with the blood and stuff on. I'm surprised he didn't just say lines from it. And you wonder, well, how would it? Oh, he was in Stab. People go, well, yeah, because she saw the first Stab movie. Which I thought she didn't really see much of the first Stab movie. I thought, whatever. And then her friends, again, Amber, I can already tell she's a fucking killer. She has that feel. She has the presence of a killer. Of a psycho. She definitely had a presence of a bitch. Her boyfriend, I've never seen any horror movies. I'm like, okay, this guy's obviously full of shit. And he was full of shit. The niece and nephew of Randy, Jamie Kennedy's characters. One was a jock, one tried to put a bit of knowledge. And then at times the characters just act so smarmy with their knowledge instead of being scared. So it's like they're acting like, shouldn't you be more scared that your life could be on the line? Why are some of these characters not acting more scared and more freaked out? And actually, yeah, let me get the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah, you mention it, but then you don't fucking do it. Sometimes these characters just act more, we're conversing in dialogue, and I don't know, I'm in this room with you. Maybe it's not a good idea. Well, maybe it's not a good idea we're alone in this room together. Maybe we should, how about you go first? Nah, you go first. Again, are you acting like human beings or acting like shitty props? So, the murders occur. This one guy gets stabbed in the neck. The lead girl has visions. Maybe the people who directed this, who did Ready or Not, which I didn't mind, but they also worked on VHS. Yeah, very horrible shit. That anthology. Which I'm like, that's... Hell, the fucking second one was better. First one wasn't even the good VHS. Again, hence I call it very horrible shit. And what did the directors do after that? A fucking found footage Rosemary's Baby wannabe movie called Devil's Due. A forgettable anthology they worked on called Southbound. And then they did Ready or Not, which I didn't mind, but hey, a sun shines on a dog's ass some days. So then, oh, the lead girl gets attacked in the hospital. This hospital is more empty than the original Halloween 2 hospital. Remember how so many people made fun of the hospital in the original Halloween 2? This hospital is even more fucking empty than that. There's literally a killer with a fucking ghost face robe and mask and everything is attacking the lead girl in a hospital in broad daylight. No one fucking sees and knows and shit. I guess the person fucking teleports too. Or hides all that shit up their ass. Or with the girl Amber, maybe up her cooch. Be like Machete. Just remember Machete when the girl pulled the phone out of her pussy? No, maybe the Amber put all the shit in her pussy and just like here's the robe, here's the mask. Oh, the mask looks so juicy. Why is it so juicy? Jesus has a big pussy. Jesus has a big pussy. Oh, maybe it's the echo. Fucking emptier than Halloween 2, this hospital. So the way they do the dialogue, maybe I'm just tired of meta humor. Maybe it just needs to take a break after a while. Maybe because The Matrix 4 tried to do that shit last month. So it's nothing unique. And then again, the fact that this is Scream 5, it's a bit of an old hat. It's an old hat that's... Take that hat, throw it in the dumpster. It's worn out. It's an old hat that's been worn out for a while. Maybe because if I want meta... Since then, there's been plenty of other films that have done it better. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Lizzie Vernon, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, The Final Girls. These are other movies that have done meta better. Behind the Mask, where this news group, this documentary group, are talking to a killer who wants to be the next Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers and shows he's like a fun, like, personality-filled, charisma-filled guy. Oh, I'm picking these people, and this is what I do, and oh, I do this, and I rig it so that they can't get out this way, and then they gotta go this way. It's like, wow, that's actually a clever, witty way. The Final Girls, where characters, Last Action Hero style, are pulled into an 80s slasher film, but actually had heart, because the girl whose mom died in real life, she was an actress in this slasher movie. So it's her mom, but it's not really her mom. And also do meta with what you should and shouldn't do in a slasher. What was the Tucker and Dale vs. Evil? The two people that usually are villains, they're actually the heroes, and they're knuckleheads, but they're fun, and they're good heart to them. And it's the teens who are the actual villains because of how shallow and stupid they are. That was more clever. That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean by if you want meta, that's actually clever. That's actually unique. That's actually well written, in my opinion. This is all I can say is my opinion. Why am I going to say your opinion? So then they go to Dewey. And this is like, I don't know, 40 minutes in the film. And David Arquette, I like David Arquette. But they did Dewey dirty. He's a loser. He lost his job as a sheriff. That's why the deputy girl in the Scream 4, she's the sheriff. He got divorced by Gail. It didn't work out. He's going a little bit of belly, drinking, just a loser. He makes a phone call to Sydney. He listens on a meeting where they're talking about rituals. In the meeting in the trailer, when we first see him, that's when he mentions, one of the rules, check the love interest. That's where, and then they go to a house, and that's where all this ritual talk. I'm like, you know what? This is almost the same fucking dialogue as when the new kids are talking to the people about remakes in Stream 4. So remakes, you say rituals. And then, let's bring in Ryan Johnson, because, hey, The Last Jedi got some buzz. There's a toxic fandom, so that's a buzzword. So let's bring that up. I'm like, what? Because a couple people... Hey... Because people didn't like what the fuck happened to Luke Skywalker, and oh, God forbid. But we want to twist and turn that into whatever bullshit you want to pull out of your ass, Hollywood. You want to do that for real? Do you, movie? Then talk about the Colorado shootings with The Dark Knight Rises. Where a guy dressed up as fucking Joker and killed people in the theater. That's real consequences. Not a few people being assholes on the internet. Or, there's assholes, but then there's just people who are not assholes. That's another thing that I didn't mention. They're just people that just give an honest opinion and say, I thought this film sucked, and I thought it sucked because X, Y, and Z reasons. Oh, well, that makes you toxic. Why? Because you were honest. Fuck off. Stick a fucking paper cutter up your ass, Hollywood, and shit writing, shit job. And then they make the goal to say this is for Wes. I hope Wes Craven watches this up there on the projector in heaven and pisses on this fucking movie. Says Horace Pinter to shock the shit out of this movie. And that's the way it is. Fucking hell, man. That's the way it is. Because I'm just tired of this. I just repeat the same goddamn thing over and over again. And it doesn't matter. It didn't get my money. Stream 5 didn't get my money. But it made a lot more money. It made more money than some of these films like Willy's Wonderland and Malignant. And hey, if you don't like it, teach their own. I like those movies. Those are more of the direction I want to see. And they fucking bomb and no one gives a shit. But Stream 5 makes a shitload of money on its opening weekend alone. And just like Halloween Kills did. Just like Halloween 2018 did, just like probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre will, when that fucking comes out. I will bet money that will make money. No, that's redundant to say, but still, that's gonna make money. If it gets in the theaters, it's gonna make money. So after that talk of requels, the sheriff and son get killed. Yeah, I wrote some stuff down so I wouldn't forget. I find it funny that when the cops come, the girl from the beginning of the film that's in the hospital, no cop stayed with her. No cops stayed with her. No cops. Every fucking cop went there. Now one fucking cop had a brain cell to stay there. Oh yeah, the girl that, attempted murder? Nope. Not one goddamn cop stayed. That's when the lead girl, Sam, and Dewey go there. They save the girl that was in the hospital. Again, this hospital is fucking empty. There's no one in this goddamn hospital. Again, you think Halloween 2's hospital is empty. This takes the cake. The girl is saved. Dewey shoots the killer. Then turns their back on the killer. Goes all the way back to the fucking elevator. Then Dewey's like, oh, gotta shoot him in the head. Then he goes all the way back. He has a gun. Then he looks down for some reason. And then gets stabbed because he's too stupid. I almost want to say, oh, because guys are stupid. And all the guys have... So the idea, that's funny. All the guys from the first movie died by now. Even Cotton Weary, who died in Stream 3. Randy's died in Stream 2. Dewey now's died this. Go fucking figure. He was sacrificed. He was sacrificed for shock value, which wasn't... I guessed it in the fucking trailer when I did my trailer reaction, so don't tell me it was shocking. I guessed it. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. And no, I don't think you need to kill Dewey off. Just don't make a fucking Stream 5. Let the fucking characters live. They've been through enough. Again, they do this and they always go, well, now nobody is safe. Bullshit. Again, to repeat, anytime you do this, the other characters are certifiable in being safe. Because that happens like all the time. Fuck you talking about? So Dewey dies. Nev Campbell comes in over an hour in. Nev Campbell blows the lead out of the picture in terms of acting for the little bits that he... And then she's just there to go, can't run away. And I know what it's like to run away. You can't do that. And hey Gail, sorry for your loss. And yeah, I know you're Billy's daughter. And just, she's given her and Gail, Courtney Cox, if you were to tell me as a quiz, ask me as a quiz, name one or two sentences Nev Campbell or Courtney Cox said that was all worth the shit, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. Right? To say one final thing, there were more. They were props. They weren't characters in this. And lo and behold, the finale. It's like the end of the first movie. It's in the same fucking house. This is a requel. You know, just because you say it doesn't make it all right. Just because you say, yeah, we're doing a sequel, doesn't mean that's the direction to go in. But it's gotta reference horror movies that are going on nowadays. Then why the fuck are you referencing more The Last Jedi than horror films? With the lead as a Mary Sue and Rian Johnson directing it, and most of the requels you named were not horror films other than Halloween. You named Jurassic Park, you named Star Wars, Ghostbusters, Terminator. Used to be a horror film with the first one, but not anymore. So you're not even referencing horror films. You're referencing just fucking just movies in general. What's next? You don't do a Stream 6 and reference, what's it going to be? Jump the Sharkitis? And I don't know how sequels go batshit insane. So this was going to be batshit insane. And then it'll involve time travel. And Cindy will go back in time and save all her friends and kill Billy and Stu. So Randy will be alive and Dewey will be alive and Dewey and Gail will be together and she'll go back to the end of the first movie, or I don't know. Oh my god. And the finale, it's people knowing what's going on and still doing stupid shit. They know people are dying, but they still have a party. People know that people are dying, but they still want to have sex. Or the girl that's supposed to be, oh, yeah, my Uncle Randy died and we're in a requel, so let me get drunk and almost do the same scene. Look behind you. Look behind you. I'm like, you know it, but you do the same stupid shit. But it's okay because we said it. You're still being stupid. Where's the wit? Where's the cleverness I keep having people tell me about? What is there to enjoy? Why should I feel suspense when I have no shits given to the characters? Why should I give a shit about any of these characters? Why? Name reasons why I should give a shit about the son of the deputy, now the sheriff, the son of the sheriff. That all I remember is his fucking hair. Why should I give a shit about the lead? Because she has these awkward visions with Steve Allworth that they try to make look younger. Why should I give a shit? Like, didn't Dewey's in like 3 scenes. Nev Campbell, Corny constantly come in over an hour and then they're still barely in it. The musical score, fucking forgettable. The songs, the only songs you remember is songs they used in the first movie, like Red Right Hand. A red right hand. Just remember the berries, remember them. And then during the party, it's not even like a big massacre at the party. It's 2 people get stabbed, but they're alive. 1 person gets shot in the head. And then a lot of people, they get shot like in the same spot. Or stabbed in the same spot. Like, right by the hip. Hey, if you ever want to shoot and stab someone in the future, they don't die, make sure it's right here. Because that's where Gail gets shot, but she doesn't have to worry about blood loss. That's where Sydney gets stabbed. That's where, like, all these fucking people get stabbed. The jock, again, he got stabbed like 7 times, and he had the luck of 50 Cent. The girl that got shot in the head, she had the luck of 75 Cent. So you don't hear from 75 Cent anymore, like I said. 75 Cent disappeared with Jimmy Hoffa. In fact, even more disappeared because you never heard of him. At least you've heard of Jimmy Hoffa. But fucking hell. And it's the house from the first movie. And the killers are Amber and the guy, because they didn't like how Stab 8 was. And how could fandom be toxic? They literally have the characters go on, how could fandom be toxic? It's about love. If you're, okay, people go, well, look at Friday the 13th. And what happened with Adrian Teen? She had a stalker. That's not toxic fandom. That's a guy being a crazy asshole. There are crazy assholes everywhere. It has nothing to do with the movies. It has nothing to do with toxic fandom. It's a guy being a mentally unstable motherfucker. Same with the Dark Knight Rises shootings. That's why I know, as much as I don't like the Dark Knight Rises, no, it didn't make someone shoot someone in a theater. No. It's people being crazy. Guess what? We're in a, some would call a cesspool, some would call a smorgasbord, some would call just a reality of millions and millions and millions and millions of people in one set location of the United States, let alone the world. There's going to be crazy people in the bunch. That's statistics. Think about it. When you go to a store, Hy-Vee, whatever grocery stores around you, you take a look around. One of those people is going to be an abuser. One of those people is going to be a drug addict. One of those people could be a fucking worse. Statistics. And this whole motive is just lame as fuck. Lame as fuck. Hollywood out of ideas. Well, yeah, that's true. Of course, when the killer says it, kind of makes that a moot point. And, oh, that's another thing. I was supposed to buy that this little girl, Amber, 4'9", 85 pounds, somehow manhandled Dewey and killed him. Because Amber admits that she's the one who killed Dewey. Again, this girl's like 4'9", about as big as, I don't know, this fucking pair of scissors. She weighs at least, she weighs as much as this. And she's as tall as this. But I'm supposed to buy that she manhandled and fucking overpowered Dewey. Give me a fucking break. Did she take steroids? Maybe that's why she has that face. She has some roid rage. I don't know. Fuck it. So the lead girl kills the guy, saying, you know, don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer, and stabs him like 18 times, and he's still alive enough to say a few words, and then she stabs him one more time. Fucking Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox have to work together to kill Amber. And they burn her up. Shoot her and burn her up. And then the movie's over. I'm just like, fuck you. I don't know why people find it enjoyable. I don't know. You're not wrong for enjoying it. I just don't get it. I don't. I watched this film. I thought it was, again, generic. I thought it was boring. I thought it was predictable. When I had to predict that one of the main characters is going to die, when I had to predict when that's going to happen, and who it's going to happen to, when I had to predict one of the killers, when I had to predict that there would be 2 killers, because out of 5 films, 4 of them has had 2 killers. 4 of them have had 2 fucking killers. 4 out of 5. But it's supposed to be unpredictable that there's 2 killers. Give me a fucking break. Bring me out a piece of that Tit Kat bar you're smoking. Plus the fact it's a requel, so it's gotta be similar to the original. Yeah, there's gonna be 2 killers. So you already know that. You already know Dewey's gonna die. You can tell Amber's a villain because she just has villain face written all over her. Nev Campbell's barely in it. Courtney Cox barely in it. Dewey, you might as well call her a glorified cameo till he dies. The music, the score is fucking forgettable. The gore is nothing you haven't seen before. You've seen people get stabbed. And stabbed in the neck. You've seen it all before. It's not any creative kills. It's not any ultra gore. So some people kept telling me, oh, this is going to be the darkest, scariest stream film. Really? Is that why most of the characters are making jokes and meta humor when they're supposed to be scared during the party? There's a bit where the 2 girls, Wannabe Randy and Amber, they're in the basement and they just have this conversation that's more glib and trying to be funny than paranoia and suspense. I don't give a shit about the new characters. The old characters are wasted to doing nothing or just being sacrificed. And the lead girl sucks. And this whole fucking movie sucks. I'm tired of them making these requels. I'm tired of just... I want them to stop. That's what I want. I don't want you to make a sequel that's like the original. To be there. I just want you to stop. I want new stuff. New stuff might not be good. But I want the attempt. I want the attempt. Just didn't. Even the 90s. People want to talk about how bad the horror films were in the 90s. Hey, I looked at Tremors. I looked at Seven. I looked at Sounds of the Lambs. I looked at the Blair Witch Project. I looked at some people, The Sixth Sense, or Stir of Echoes, or Session 9. Well, that's 2001, Session 9, which I enjoy. Jacob's Ladder in 1990. This is just... people would say Hereditary and The Witch, and if that's the case, then in deep shit. I'm in deep shit. Because horror films are either requels, it's just the same fucking thing I've seen 15 fucking times, or it's pretentious bullshit like Hereditary and The Witch and Midsommar. I feel too old, man. I'm getting too old. That's my problem. I'm getting too old for this shit. Fuck the whole toxic fandom thing. It's just... There's been disagreements all the goddamn time. And in real life, a lot of disagreements go, fuck you, no, fuck you too. Sorry that you don't live in a fucking glass... I was going to say a glass bubble. Well, yeah, a glass bubble. Protected glass bubble and the scared of being shattered. That's what happened with Paul Feig when he had a meltdown about Ghostbusters 2016. You do know that there are people that tried to fuck with you to get a reaction, right, Hollywood? And you fell into the trap. Hook, line and sinker. And you know what? At the very least, if this was entertaining, or if it actually was clever, if it actually was fresh, if it actually was with ingenuity, maybe I would be fine with it. Fuck, it's an hour long. I didn't mean for that to fucking happen. Yeah, 2022 starts with a good fucking start. From a whisper to a fucking scream. I mean, the fucking movie is called Scream. I'm calling it Scream 5 because it's Scream 5, but even the title's called Scream. Just like Halloween was called Halloween. 2018. I'm like, fucking shit, man. Christ. You know, I didn't like that Rambo 4 was just called Rambo, but at least it wasn't just a remake of First Blood. At least. I would just call it, you know, First Blood or Rambo 4, but at least it just wasn't a remake. And Rambo 5 sucked. So even as a Rambo fan, I'm like, just stop with the sequels. Stop it. Just take a break from sequels for a while. Unless it's like a new franchise. Like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, okay. Curious about that. But stop fucking digging up the graves of these franchises. But why would they? They're making money. They didn't get my money, but they're making money, and a lot of people liked it. I'm in the minority, and you know what? That's fun. I'll sit in the corner here with this chair from 1974, my Aliens poster. I'll sit in the corner, drinking my Mellow Yellow, eating Skittles, and I'll be fine and dandy. So, that's just the way it is. And then the fact they go for Wes, I'm like, fuck you, movie. Don't say for Wes Craven. Don't speak for the guy. You know, I like Wes Craven. He was one of my favorite directors. I love Shocker, Serpent and the Rainbow, People Under the Stairs, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, there was stuff I didn't care for. My soul to take. Stream 4 I wasn't a fan of. I like Stream 3. I still think Stream 3 is underrated. I still think it's a fun film. You could technically say Stream didn't need a sequel. Well, yeah, that's true. But a trilogy, fine. Should have just stopped at the trilogy. You did not need a Stream 4 or a Stream 5, and this further proved that. Proved it hook, line, and sinker. You know what? Maybe I'll put the poster here, and as a smartass, I'll just put generic. This is a perfect word to describe this film. Generic. Maybe I just care too much. I don't know. Just care too goddamn. I don't know. So, we'll see you guys later. And again, I know there's going to be some people, well, look at you being so mad. You're just like the people at the end who are the killers. No, they want another stab film. I want nothing. Hollywood, I want you to burn to the ground. Restart. Maybe to restart. Renewal. Go on a Logan's Run. And maybe come back with fresher ideas. That's what I want. See you guys later. Bye-bye.